Hello friends, this is Chandrakant from Akulmac Technologies and welcome to Top Brass. And friends, as you know, we are on the journey of understanding the human rights and also the legal system by and large. And for this purpose, let me invite my friend, a very senior advocate from Ahmedabad, Mr. Nagesh Sood.
Hello, Chandrakant. Hope you're doing fine.
All is well, Nagesh, and for the benefit of viewers, let me briefly introduce Nagesh. Nagesh is a very senior advocate practicing in Ahmedabad High Court and also a very well-known human rights activist engaged with many NGOs. So, Nagesh, we are discussing issue around fair trial. We discussed yesterday, and today is part two. I would like to ask you your legal opinion in terms of fair trial as we are continuing from yesterday.
Absolutely, Chandrakant, we're discussing right to fair trial as one of the human rights available to people in the world. So let me begin with a quote of a famous jurist, William Blackstone. The quote is like this, I quote, "It is better than 10 guilty escape than one innocent suffers." So a trial is a process by which a court decides on the innocence or guilt of an accused person. Fair trial is not something like a favor afforded to that accused person, but it involves a bundle of legally enforceable rights guaranteed by the state, that means the government, to its citizens for whom the state itself exists. We know that state is the government, which is by the people, for the people, and but to the people and from the people. So the principle of a fair trial is put in a basic terms of certain rights, such as a right to remain silent, the prohibition of double jeopardy, then the right to legal counsel, the right to be notified of charges, etc. The principle is much broader than these individual guarantees which I just mentioned. Actually, the right to fair trial includes the notion that each individual must be able to make use of these procedural rights regardless of his individual capabilities. So there would be people who are rich, there would be people who are poor. So every individual must be able to enjoy these procedural rights. Now, the quality of every turn fair trial norms are nuanced to afford particular protection to the more vulnerable and disadvantaged people also. So these rights are constitutionally guaranteed, and they compel and cast a legal duty on the judge to ensure that they are respected, realized, and never violated.
So, Nagesh, we have a very strong legal system, and in last so many days, let's talk about one of the most popular case recently is the Sushant Singh Rajput's death, and now the you know people are thinking that you have to catch the girlfriend, which is Rhea Chakraborty, to get all the evidences out. So far, it has gone through legal battles and it has gone between Maharashtra, Bihar, Supreme Court, and then it has come back to CBI. So I think none of the rights of Rhea Chakraborty have been taken away. I think she has used all rights available in the legal system to protect herself. However, I have one question from you. The kind of exposes the media is showing about what was going on, does that not come under any sort of legal jurisprudence?
Yes, Chandrakant, so far as the media trial, which is going on since so many days, it has its own limitations. Now, under the law, there is a procedure That means a trial has to be conducted uh, or upon the investigation made by the investigating agencies, what kind of proofs or statements they gather during this investigation is what which is going to reach the court of law. Now, today, if we see that the media is collecting evidence, some of which could be fake, some of which would not be relevant, some of which are questionable, some of which would also affect the case. Because if a statement is being given by somebody on television that I have seen this or I have seen that, then of course the same person will be put as a witness in the witness box before the court, and he has to answer those questions by the lawyer of the accused, which means he will be cross examined of all the statements which he makes here in the court, before the police, as well as outside. So, when there will be any distinction or there'll be any difference in the statements or whatever is said, at that point of time, the statement of that person becomes unreliable, because then court also feels that he's talking this at this point of time, he's talking different at this particular point of time. So to avoid that, it is better that the process which is already in existence must take its own course. And it is sometimes not healthy to have a media trial if we actually want to have truth.
So, when you say there is a legal system and the legal system works in the court, but I'm sure there is a legal system which also prevents people to take law in their own hand when they are outside of the court. See, the matter will come to the court only when somebody commits a crime, and then the charge sheet is produced, and then the case. But before all that happens, once before the judge start hearing the case, I think the legal system extend to that level as well. So let's say, for instance, we have seen yesterday that Rhea Chakrabarti was seen entering the mortuary along with some unknown people, and she spent 45 minutes. I personally believe that anybody, any normal person cannot spend more than 2 minutes inside a mortuary. It's a very, very depressing environment. So I want to know from the legal standpoint, first of all, under what law or what legal system she was given so much liberty to spend 45 minutes in the mortuary before this case became very hot?
Well, to answer this question, actually, you see, we are seeing the clippings of what has happened during the death of actor Sushant Singh. There are a lot of facts and figures which are coming out through private people and not authenticated by the government sources. Now, if it is a fact which has been brought by some channel, that has to be authenticated by the authority. So we do not know whether the timing of the clipping and when the clipping has been taken, what are the timings. These are something being said on the channels to get popularity. So actual job of finding out the truth, ascertaining the truth, is when the trial takes place. And the trial would take place only when a proper investigation by the investigating agency takes place, and they would find as to what is what. So today it is just mere speculation about talking. Everybody has become a lawyer, everybody has become an expert in this case, and everybody is an investigator, which is okay if you see that it has really moved the entire nation to come together that there is something fishy going around. There is something more than what has been said by the authorities. So, for a moment to happen like this, it is a good thing. But I believe this is the job of the authority, this is the job of the court to find, to ascertain what the truth is, and also give a fair opportunity to one and all, to the accused, to the victim, and everybody, and then come to a conclusion that what has actually happened. So let's not discuss about the videos, the timings, etc., etc. So I would want to uh, give some more information as to what the right to fair trial is all about. So each person has a right to be dealt with fairly in a criminal trial, as Ms. Rhea Chakravarti would also get an opportunity to be treated fairly. Now, there is hardly anything more undesirable in the legal system than the wrongful conviction of an innocent person. If that lady is innocent, definitely she would not get, and she would be let off by the court honorably. So, this is a decision by the court. This is because the consequences of convicting an innocent person are so significantly serious that its reverberations are felt throughout the civilized society. You would feel really bad if an innocent person is convicted. Now, of course, the things in this case are looking different because there is a lawyer who's also talking. There are lawyers. The case has been dealt by the Honorable Apex Court. So there is much relevant documentary evidence as well as statements which were there with the court, which have become public. So, looking to that fact and the decision of the Honorable Apex Court, it seems that the investigation has not taken place properly. So, accordingly, a new agency has come in, like CBI, to find out the truth.
I think I will just continue the question that I was asking. I have one little thing which is still remaining. Is there a legal issue if girlfriend of Sushant Singh Rajput, which is Rhea Chakrabarti, is called to a mortuary? Is it wrong, right, or is it legally permissible? I think most of the people have right to know because they have been hearing all this in media. Uh, but I think from the legal standpoint, is it right or wrong? What it is?
See, first of all, we have to understand what was her relation with Sushant Singh. It has come in public through her statement or through media that she was in live-in relationship with actor Sushant Singh. Now, live-in relationship has been legalized in our country like a marriage, and it has given ample rights to the live-in partner who's staying with that person. Like, it is something like this. Now, when the incident happened, it is been um, told in the media that Rhea Chakravarti was not allowed to attend Sushant Singh Rajput's funeral, etc., and she was not allowed to do a couple of things. Now, if she had gone to a mortuary or if she had an access to a mortuary, that is because people must have known her as the live-in partner of actor Sushant Singh. Now it is if a wife has a right to be accessible to a person who has who has died or anything, so definitely that person has a right. But what is being seen is that what was her conduct before such a mysterious death, etc. And then, the views are out in public. But definitely, if somebody is there, now there is a question about his friend Sanjay Singh, who was not in talking terms for about a year. And he was all present uh, everywhere. after the death. So these things will be investigated. Actually, it is a matter of investigation and not a matter of speculation. So no lawyer would be able to answer as to whether they had a right to be present there or whether they don't have the right to be present there. So that would be based on what are the facts, what are the circumstances, why they were there, what were the reason, why they were normally not there before the incident happened, before the person was in trouble. So all these things are a matter of inquiry and not a matter of speculation. So I would then like to, also talk about what is the law, what is the right of fair trial under the Indian Constitution. There are a few articles which I would mention. One is Article 14 of the Constitution, which states that the state or the government shall not deny to any person equality before the law or the equal protection of the law within the territory of India. Then there's another Article 15, which lays down the principle of non-discrimination, according to which the state shall not discriminate against any citizen on the grounds only of religion, race, caste, sex, place of birth, or any of them. So then, in terms of justice delivery, the principle of equality basically has two aspects. One is equal access to the courts and equal treatment of law. So even if the person is accused, he is like any other person. So he has a right, like in this case, Rhea Chakravarti exercised her right to go before the Honorable Supreme Court by moving an application that such thing has happened, and please transfer the FIR to Mumbai. Secondly, she had also made an application before the Supreme Court that a media trial is going on and the protection must be given to her. So that was another application. So these are the rights which Rhea Chakravarti, as an accused for the time being, has exercised, and the court very fairly heard the parties concerned and has come to a conclusion, looking to the evidence, that a CBI inquiry is required in this case, and this must be investigated properly so that the truth comes out. So this is what the law is under the Constitution. Now there is a protection given to the accused in respect of conviction of offences, that is a privilege against self-incrimination. This is Article 20, Clause 3 of the Constitution, which protects the right of the accused to remain silent by providing that no person accused of any offence shall be compelled to be a witness against himself. Now, if we talk of the investigation, the first thing after lodging of an FIR, the police take statements of the people under Section 161(2) of the Criminal Procedure Code, 61. Now, under 161(2), it provides that an accused is not bound to answer all questions. Accused is bound to answer all questions of state officially truthfully, except questions the answers to which would have tendency to expose him or her to a criminal charge or to a penalty or forfeiture. So further, under Section 313 of Criminal Procedure Code, protection is given as to right to silence to the accused. It protects the accused from liability for refusing to answer or falsely answering questions by a judge during a court proceeding. So this is a very important right which is there with the accused, which gives the accused protection, that he should not be making a statement which would be, you know, inflicting him the punishment.
I think you have explained the fair trial concepts which exist in the legal system quite well, and I think you have cleared all doubts in terms of especially the current case of Rhea Chakrabarti. I think her conduct can be judged by people, but her legal procedures that have been followed are as per the fair trial process. I think it's a very good conversation, and I think you've clarified all that for the benefit of our viewers. So we will catch up again, Nagesh, discuss something about human rights again next week.
Thank you very much. It was a pleasure being with you, Chandrika. Thank you so much.
Thank you, and see you. Have a nice
Bye
week.
bye.
Bye bye.
Bye. Take care. You too.